What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and the Android battle is really heating up. There are a lot of hot Android devices on the market, and it's tough to choose between not only the carrier-subsidized devices that you see on Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, and T-Mobile, but also some of the unlocked ones that are available overseas. This is going to be a hot dogfight because it's the Samsung Galaxy S2 versus the T-Mobile G2x. One of the best Android devices ever, one of the best Android devices in the United States. Now this baby is $800, roughly $800 to import and bring in, whereas this one you can get subsidized on T-Mobile for $199. So while this one may be better in terms of features, in terms of power, $200 is pretty sweet and kind of hard to pass up. Which one's the best one to go with? We're going to find out that and more in the dogfight. But first, special thanks to our gang over at Best Buy. They're always great, and they're hooking us up with some cool smartphones that we can give to you. Who knows, the T-Mobile G2x could be yours if you win in one paw. When you go to Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working. They'll help you set up all this stuff you see on the home screen, market, email, web, and more, so you're taken care of and you walk out the door working. But enough of that, let's get into it. Dogfight. So to test out messaging on both of these devices, I'm loaded up over here, and I'll go into messaging over here, and you can see it's plain Jane experience. And we can see what the differences between the two. Now you can see obviously this has TouchWiz on it. You can see that the messaging interface is different over here, and not only is it different from vanilla Android, it's different from TouchWiz 3.0 as well. A little bit of a different look, a different feel to it, and you have these kind of black color schemes, color hues, and gray, as opposed to old TouchWiz. Now out of the box you get two keyboards. You get Samsung keypad and you get swipe. I've installed the gingerbread keyboard and Swift key. So out of the box, pretend those aren't there, you get Samsung keypad and swipe. So if swipe's your thing, you have that pre-installed with the ability to, how are you? So I can't really use swipe, I was never really good at it. But we'll delete the words back. And then you have Samsung's keypad, and don't get me wrong, it's improved over the Infuse 4G and some of the other recent TouchWiz devices, but still not my favorite. We'll go the Quick Brown Fox. I don't like how it auto-corrects. Is awesome. Quick Brown Fox is awesome, and I don't like the fact, I want something that provides some suggestions. I just feel like the autocorrect dictionary is off on the Samsung keypad. Some people have criticized me on Twitter and Facebook and places like that for saying that I know you can turn off the auto prediction where, you know, I bring up something like Oklahoma, which I actually have turned it off, but types in Oklahoma, you know, originally if I type in OKL, it'll fill it in and say Oklahoma. I have that turned off. I just think the auto correction still kind of lacking on the Samsung keypad. If you don't like those, you can always go to the Android market, download keyboards, and of course, because this is an unlocked device, side loading is enabled. So you can side load keyboards, like if you want the HTC keyboard or the Motorola multi-touch keyboard. Over here, show you here, we'll type to compose, input method. You have swipe and Android keyboard. I have the gingerbread one installed over here as well. But these are the two you get out of the box over here. Swipe and Android keyboard. And because it's running Android 2.2, it's not the stock gingerbread keyboard. It's the stock Froyo keyboard. So we'll type in the Quick Brown Fox is ready to party like it is 1999. Quick Brown Fox is ready to party like it is 1999. Now you can use that in portrait or in landscape as well. A little bit of a smaller display. It's 4 inches instead of 4.3, but still very easy to type on. And so there it is. And if I wanted to click, I could have a copy of that buddy on my desktop, or on my main screen rather, as opposed to going through contacts. So month, agenda, today, and then you have several clocks. Classic clock, simple, unique, modern, digital, analog, digital, dual clock, a lot of different options there. Email, you have some stock Android stuff, mini paper, power savings, program monitor, which is a huge one for me. I like to see what's running. Pop that up there. Semi-clock, which is one I've downloaded. Voice, pop that up there too, why not? And Yahoo Finance. So a couple of new ones that are pretty clean and good looking, in my opinion. So I'll go ahead and get rid of all these. But you get the idea, a lot of different ones. And you can see how fluid everything goes to the trash can, removes itself, and how fast it loads up and transitions. So very, very fast and very, very nice. Now both of these have 8 megapixel cameras, and both are capable of shooting 1080p video. So just for an unofficial camera test, I'm going to bring over the HTC Flyer, and we'll turn this on. I'm going to load that up, bam, and we'll take a sample picture with both of these. So I'm going to go into camera on this one, and you can see the Samsung interface here on the camera. You have the option to flip it over. That's me. Ooh, that's ugly. Whew. And then you have your camera, your camcorder, switch button, and then you have your settings down here, which I can click on. I can bring up self-shot, exposure value, timers. Now, obviously, I'm on the front-facing camera, so the settings are less. But let's see, effects, resolution, white balance, ISO, a lot of different options to change. Focus mode, I mean, several different things depending on what setting you're in. So let's go back and just take a picture of this. I'm going to try to get it on the weather. Let's do... So just a very clean picture. Let me pop it up there so you can see it. Looks very good, very clean, and you can definitely make out the HTC and the weather. I mean, it's one of the best cameras in the biz, in my opinion. Let me scroll back to a picture that I took a couple of days ago, and I actually showed this off in the review. It's a picture of a bottle of Yingling, and you can actually see the condensation. You can make out the label. This was taken in complete darkness, so you can show. It shows you how light the flash is. So I think the camera is fantastic over here. Now let's put the G2x over to the test. Bring up camera, and it's a great one as well. And then it has this custom LG interface that you can see with the ability to swap camera, zoom, change some settings over here as well. Rotate through those just to give you an idea. And then you have camera, video camera, and then the ability to take the picture, and then your gallery shortcut. So pop this back up, make it fair. Bam. And then let's get it ready. And then there it is. So you can see, we'll go in here. Bam. So it brings up the stock Android gallery, or the default Android gallery, to show off the pictures. But still, a very good looking picture. Now the camera award goes to the Samsung Galaxy S2. Much better picture in that regard, and just cleaner looking and much easier to make out. Now I was mixing it up a little bit because I want to go back to the browser and show you the browser quality on both of these devices. So let's go to phonedog.com, and then we'll go over here to phonedog.com. And now I'm running on Wi-Fi on this one, so don't take to heart these network tests. I'll turn that off when we do a speed test, but just to give you an idea. So it's loaded up. Let's get those flash advertisements fully running so we can get an accurate idea. And here's pinch to zoom. You can just see how fast and how responsive it is. I mean, just bam, bam, bam. You see a little bit of checkerboarding on this device. You zoom in and out too quickly, but hey, I take speed. For me personally, I take the speed and deal with the checkerboarding as opposed to being a little slow with no checkerboarding. But you can just see how quickly and easily you can zoom in. And that's what it looks like in portrait. You can, of course, use it in landscape as well. Bring it back out. See how quickly and how fluid that is. And then because it is running TouchWiz, actually I'm going to turn that off. Because it is running TouchWiz, you have this unique looking browser experience where you can add a new window. So let's say go to Google. I want to go back to PhoneDog. Nice and colorful, easy to see which page is which, and that's a nice enhancement to TouchWiz. Now over here, you don't have that. If you wanted to open a new window, you wanted to go back, you have your window here in PhoneDog. It's kind of blasé, kind of bland. We'll go back, and you can see a little bit slower, but no checkerboarding. So it depends. If you want it a little slower without the checkerboarding, the G2x is the better one. Obviously, in your opinion. For me, I think the Galaxy S2 is noticeably faster, and despite the fact that the G2x has no checkerboarding, I give the browser award to the Samsung Galaxy S2. Call quality's been great on both of these devices. I'll talk a little bit about it while I load up Quadrant Standard so we can do our testy test on both of these. Quadrant Standard, I'm going to run full benchmark. Call quality's been very good. The earpiece is nice and loud on both of these. I have pretty old man ears for whatever reason, pretty old manish type ears, and I've been very pleased with both of these. The music volume is nice and loud, the earpiece is loud, and the speakerphone has been pretty decent as well. A lot of people have issues with this device, or have had issues with it, with a couple of things. One, with reception, two, with screen issues, and three, in terms of light leakage, and three, with it randomly powering off. Now, just to let you know, I've had 2 times where it's powered off. I've not had the screen issues, and I downloaded a couple of programs to try and test that, and I just don't have the issues. Either that or it just doesn't bother me or I don't notice it. I don't have the leakage issues that a lot of people are having. And Signal's always been great for me. Actually, my home office, it's one of the few that works particularly well. AT&T doesn't. So that's something to keep in mind. It's been a great device. We'll load these up just to show you Quadrant Standard. Now on the Galaxy S2, 3065 and that's one of the lower scores. Usually it averages between about 3,100 and 3,400. So by far the fastest quadrant standard score I've ever seen, but you can really tell how black that back is there thanks to Super AMOLED Plus, just how colorful that is and how rich that looks. So 3,065, 2,390 over here. So yeah, while the quadrant standard score goes to the Galaxy S2, these both are really so fast you're not going to notice. I mean, it's like the equivalent of a millisecond. It's one of those things like if both cars are doing 200 miles per hour and one does 201, do you notice? Well, yeah, you win, but you know, 200 versus 201, not a huge difference. I really can't tell any speed difference between these two devices and everything that I've thrown at them. But call quality's been very good, and I've been pleased with the earpiece on both devices. So let's do a speed test, and let me pull this off Wi-Fi so we can get an accurate indicator. Now both of these are running their respective 4G, or at least, yeah, okay, so the HSPA Plus, HSPA Plus. And this one's interesting because, you know, AT&T has a tendency to call everything that's not Edge HSPA Plus. According to devices like the Infuse, it just constantly says H Plus. This one's interesting because it'll rotate between 3G, UMTS, and then HSPA Plus, and it'll let you know which one you're on. So it's kind of nice to see, hey, this cell site doesn't have HSPA Plus, whereas this one does. So AT&T, it's one of their things they're working on. But let's go into speed test. Do a quick speed test. Bam, bam. Load those up. Begin test. And wait for those to pop up. But you can just really see how colorful that is in comparison. I mean, hold those up. Let me see if I can get them up to where you can see just some color differences between the two. I mean, just so colorful on the Galaxy S2 as opposed to the G2x. The screen just blows the G2x out of the water. So see the differences. But network speed's pretty good over here. Download 4.42 megabits per second thanks to T-Mobile's 4G, AT&T's 0.16 megabits per second, and on the upload a little faster it looks like, but who knows, 1.70 megabits per second over here. So as we sign off, I'm going to do a quick call just so you can see which one is sounds better in your opinion. I've definitely been pleased with both of these, but I'm going to turn on the speaker so you can hear it. It's going to make that little T-Mobile after it does that. But much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com with both of these devices. You know, one has to be declared a winner, so I'm declaring it, and you know, it's really tough here because both of these are awesome devices. There you go. Oh, it picked up on my voice, but you get the idea of the speaker over there, and then we'll do the speaker. I really shouldn't talk and try to do this stuff at the same time. Let's see here. 611. Kick on speaker so you can hear it.
Thank you for calling AT&T about your wireless service.
So very loud over there, but much more coverage to come on both of these devices, the Galaxy S2 and the G2X. I have to declare a winner, and I'll really tell you who it is, and I think you're going to be surprised. Which device is by far the best device? The Galaxy S2. But a dogfight isn't just about power. It's about what's the most available, what's the the best package, the best bang for your buck, which one's the most inexpensive but still offers a range of features. So the dogfight champion is actually the T-Mobile G2X. That's who I'm declaring it to. And you may say, what in the world? Galaxy S2 is obviously the better device, in my opinion. The faster, it has better specs. And if it comes to the States and it's subsidized, we'll redo this dogfight again, and it'll win out versus the G2X. But the best all-around package is the G2X. Awesome device, stock Android, cool specs, dual-core processor, 8-megapixel camera, 1080p video capabilities, and it's available for $200. Keep it locked on the PhoneDog.com site for continuing coverage of these and other dogfights in the coming days, weeks, and months, because we're going to have a bunch of dogfights with the Galaxy S2. Be sure to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're giving away iPads, smartphones, and more as part of our colossal iPad 2 and smartphone sweepstakes. So be sure to check that out at facebook.com/PhoneDog. And follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on Facebook at facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Thanks so much for watching. You think I'm crazy? You think it's the best move I ever made? Let me know in the comments, on Twitter, and on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend.